Okay.
One, two.
I only put it on.
Good evening, councillors. I trust all of you are well. Andrew Fordyce, MBE, will take prayers.
When I was a curate, believe it or not, the vicar of Baghdad moved into our parish, and little conversations like, "How are you doing, Andrew? I'm okay. How's this week?" Church warden was kidnapped. Will you see him again? No. Little conversations like that put everything into perspective. I wanted to go around and see him and set a good first example. And I had a puppy, and I saw the little puppy, gave it a pat, and then I into his office, and his intern showed me round, and I looked at the photos of all the great and the good he'd met. Then I sat down to have a cup of tea with Andrew and just see how we as a church could support him. And I said, "Andrew, terrible." I looked down, and I'd trodden in his puppy's deposits in the garden and then tramped it all round his smart office. So I felt a bit of a wally. I then spent the next 10 minutes cleaning it up. What I want to share with you is there's always a challenge to move ourselves from the detail and think of the bigger perspective. There's also the challenge to own up to when we've messed up and just say, I've made a mistake, see how we can clear it up. Like to say, Heavenly Father, we are human mistakes. And Lord, in our responsibilities, help us to own any mistakes that we make. Lord, help us to support others as they clear up mistakes that they've made. And Lord, when we get immersed in the details, help us to know those times to pull back, get the big picture. And Lord, for those times where we're so wrapped up in the big picture, we lose the details. Lord, I pray your blessing on this meeting and on our deliberations, and I thank you for these public servants. Thank you.
Please be seated, councillors. Item number 1, apologies for absence. Mr. Davidson.
Thank you, Chairman. I have apologies for absence from Councillor Codling.
Thank you. Item number 2, report of the return officer on the district by-election, Blue House Ward, pages 1 to 2. Mr. Davidson.
Thank you, Chairman. As per your papers on page 1, just like to report the outcome of the Blue House by-election, in which just like to say that Councillor Bernard Goldman was duly elected as a councillor for the Blue House Board and has made his declaration of office.
Thank you. Councillor Bernie Goldman, welcome to TDC. Many congratulations on your win in the by-election. Round of applause, please. I hope you enjoy your term of office. Item number 3, the minutes of the last meeting of the council, pages 3 to 18. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to move them.
Agreed. Thank you. Item number 4, declarations of interest, if any. There was none there. Item number 5, announcements by the chairman. I only have a few announcements. Over the last month or so, I attended many Christmas events around the district, judging best Christmas tree decorated houses and trees, and attended many Christmas tree lights on, and attended many events, Christmas carol events and Christmas markets throughout the district. And only last week, myself and Councillor Casey, the Vice Chair, attended the Holocaust Memorial Service on Friday the 26th of January, and it was a moving memorial service led by Mr. Harvey Newman. And they're my announcements for this council meeting. Item number 6, announcements by the Chief Exec. There's none at this stage. Item 7, statements by the Leader of the Council, if any. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. I've only got one. I just wanted to, in case anybody hadn't looked up, the theatre has now been painted glorious colours that matches the curtain we bought last year. I just wanted to say well done to the team that did it, because a lot of them actually laid the stage themselves, they varnished the floors, and this is all our own team. Obviously, contractors did the high work, but this was such a great place, and I think it was going to serve us for many years.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Yes, I do agree. It's very, very nice and very, very good for our theatre. So well done for the team there. Items number 8, statements by members of the Cabinet, if any. Councillor Ivan Henderson.
Thank you, Chair. It was a good job they didn't ask me to paint the high levels parts of the chamber. Chairman, I bring some good news to members regarding the progress in the Sunspot. The Sunspot is getting national recognition. The new building was picked out by the Observer's architectural journalist Rowan Moore as one of his top 5 buildings of the year in the country. This week, the National Royal Institute of British Architecture journal selected the project as one of only 3 highly commended projects for the McEwen Award 2024. While winning national awards, it's also making a difference here in Tendring. You might have seen the article in the Clacton Gazette by Lorraine Wilds of the cake shop at the Sunspot, Rainy Bakes. Lorraine has expanded her business in the centre and was very complimentary of the support TDC and ECC offered her. She said, if there is anyone else thinking of starting up a little business, the Sunspot is an ideal place to get the encouragement and support needed to make the plunge. 19 of the units are now let. The last shop has been taken up by Candylicious, who will cater to the emerging seafront trade, and that is on the result of developing of the access to the toilets on the front and the new cafe. The word is, if you've got time this summer, come and get yourself a Mr. Whippy and enjoy the beach. And the last one is take a trip to the Pancake Day down at the Sunspot on Tuesday, the 13th of February, between 4 and 6. It's great to see more and more activity and more community events taking place in that centre, and the ownership of the community now taking real ownership of it. If you come down to that pancake event, I'm sure you will have a flipping good time. Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you, Councillor Henderson. The first pun of the evening, I'm sure there'll be others. Any more cabinet members? Councillor Councillor Carlo Guglielmi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I welcome the news about the Sunspot being recognised nationally. And I just would like to put on record that it was one of the projects that previous administration drove and absolutely threw the kitchen sink at it. It wasn't easy to be done. And my friend on the left here, when we presented the cabinet about 2 years ago now, or even more than that, his quote was, if it was easy, it would have been done long before now. And we should also place on record our thanks to Essex County.
Sorry, I've been advised I need to ask you a question to the cabinet member.
It's coming.
Okay. Please, can you pursue to your question, please?
Would like to really to put on record our grateful thanks to Essex County Council. And I would just like to get the cabinet member to agree with me to put those on record. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Guglielmi. Councillor Ivan Henderson.
Thank you, Chairman. And to answer to Councillor Guglielmi's question, as soon as I took this role up as Cabinet Member for Economic Growth, Regeneration and Tourism with the responsibility of the Sunspot, I took on the baton of that Sunspot to make sure that that was one thing that this administration took on and completed. And I'm really pleased to see the results of that when you see the take-up way above what was expected at the time that we were thinking about businesses in there, and seeing the market now flourishing on a Wednesday, and all the other sites being taken up and being successful. And I do recognise the partnership not only with this Sunspot, but with all of the levelling up projects and everything else which is going on in Tendring at the moment. The partnership which our partners at Essex County Council plays in that. And he's right to say about the issues around the Sunspot. And I can say to him and give him an assurance that the things that were taken forward through that Sunspot, we've learned many lessons from that, some costly lessons. And we're making sure the capacity is there to make sure that those lessons learned are taken forward to make sure that the rest of our levelling up projects are successful and possibly don't hit those expensive hurdles that the Sunspot and the Orwell open place had.
Thank you, Councillor Henderson. Thank you, Councillor Guglielmi. Councillor Gina Placey, please.
Thank you. Just a brief one. I'd like to report that Career Track had Ofsted visit last November, and we had to keep quiet about the results until they were printed just last week. And I'm pleased to say it was good in all areas. To quote a part of their report, Career Track has developed ambitious programs which provide a good route to employment and further training for local residents. It praises support given to apprentices by both Career Track assessors and the employer managers, and also the expertise and the experience of the governors. They were very pleased that the apprentices felt motivated and valued, and most of them actually go on to full-time employment. And I'm sure a lot of you would have met some of them here, because there are quite a few in TDC. I won't quote the one that we usually quote. He's not here though, but I can't. Okay, and one other thing, we hosted a STEAM event last week, first of its kind. I won't assume that everybody knows. It used to be STEM, it's now STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts and maths. For year 6 in the primary schools. It was very, very successful. We had a diverse range of employers and a lot of noisy, interested children. The idea is to sow the seed early of what jobs are available locally and start raising their aspirations. A lot of them, the police were there, the armed services part, you can imagine. A lot of the children were more than keen to get their hands on all the equipment. Their Galloper were there with the virtual headsets where you can feel as though you're on the top of the wind turbine. You could lay bricks, rose builders. All in all, it was a real good experience, and it's one that we hope that we can continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Placey. Councillor Carlo Guglielmi.
Thank you, Chairman. It would be remiss of me not to add my congratulations to what Career Track's new direction from the following on from the Ofsted report, and the whole of the council is very grateful to the work that Career Track does. And I just wonder if it's pertinent, given the fact that we got several new members in the on the council, whether to organise some kind of in-depth briefing to make everybody understand what Career Track is actually delivered for the authorities. And I'm particularly delighted to the leaders and the team. It's only a very small team of 5 people, which I believe is still the same. They do deserve all our admiration for the work they do. It would be very good if the cabinet member would organise something for a briefing for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Guglielmi. Councillor Gina Placey.
Yeah, I agree with you, Councillor Guglielmi. I should take that back, and we'll see what we can do about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Mick Barry.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. At the last meeting in November, members may recall that I announced an intention to resurrect the Tour de Tenerife, and just an update on that. Following meetings during the course of this month, the event has gone live, as it says, with a website that is run by Bike Events, and the event will take place on Sunday, the 19th of May. Start and finishes, there are two points this time, first time ever, one in Harwich and one in Clacton at the Hazelmere Road car park. We're going through St Osyth, Great Bentley, Great Oakley. There's a 20 or a 60 mile route, and there, for the first time this year, there are some shorter routes. for toddlers and push and counsellors if they want to do a few miles. And we have got we've got the whole might of Essex Pedal Power behind the event. They've mobilised all their members from certainly from Harwich and Clacton and around the rest of the district. So there's a lot of enthusiasm for the event. I think it's going to be a real good return, and I'd encourage everyone to consider getting involved in some way and hopefully enter the competition. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. Councillor Carlo Guglielmi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and it's great that the event is being resurrected. My question to the cabinet member would be, would he give an indication what the cost of the tour will be to the, I'm going to expect this response this evening, but it would be quite good if you would provide that to everybody in the council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Guglielmi. Councillor McBarry, please.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as I know to date, the event is self-financing and run through Bike Events. I think there is some priming money. I'm not sure about the exact amounts, but I can get that information and give you a written reply.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. No other cabinet members? Thank you. Item number 9, petitions to council, and there are none at this stage. Question 10, item 10, questions pursuant to council procedure 10.1, there are none at this stage. Item 11, report of the leader of the council, urgent cabinet or portfolio holders, there's no such report at this stage. Item 12, minutes of the committees, pages 19 to 88. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. With the indulgence of the council, I'm happy to move these en bloc.
All agreed? Thank you. Item number 13, motions to council procedure rule 12. There are none at this stage. Item 14, recommendations from cabinet. There are none at this stage. Item 15, report to submit to the council by the overview and scrutiny committee. There's no such committee reports at this stage. Item 16, report of the chief exec A1, membership of the committees 89 to 90. Mr. Davison.
Thank you, Chairman. As per your report on page 89. Thank you.
All agreed? Thank you. Item number 17, report of the chief exec A2, change of membership of a political group 91 to 92. Mr. Davison.
Thank you, Chairman. As per your report on page 91. Thank you.
All agreed? Thank you. Item 18, report of the chief exec A3, review of the allocation of seats to political groups on the council. Mr. Davison. I've been advised this item has now been deferred till the March meeting. Mr. Davison.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to advise members that this evening we have been notified of a change in the membership of the Conservative group on the council, and therefore the numbers in this report are correct. Therefore, the Widdicombe report will be recalculated by Mr. Ford, and this will come to the March meeting of the council. Thank you.
Okay, so that item's been deferred. Item number 19, joint report of the monitoring officer and cabinet A4, proposed minor amendments to the cabinet constitution, council procedure rules 93 to 100. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm happy to remove the recommendation on page 93, and if anybody wants to see the actual amendments, you'll find them on page 96.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Councillor Carlo Guglielmi.
Yes, Chairman, I'm very happy to second that proposition, and I'd just like to give my thanks to Councillor Stevenson for the way he's carried on managing the Constitution Review Working Group. It was the very first committee or panel or working group of this council that comprised multi-political representation on it, and it's carried on in a really excellent manner. I feel since I've been named in the report by our Widdicombe rule specialist, Mr. Ian Ford, I felt that I had to very apt for me to speak on it, and I like to think that it will carry on like it has, again in your hands, the way it does. On the report itself, I think it's absolutely vital that proper training is given to, especially now, to the members of the audit committee, and of the initial training we received and the induction was particularly helpful. Was conducted by the Section 151 and by the monitoring officer, which really was quite impactful on members' understanding of audit. And I do like to congratulate on the way you've carried on. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Guglielmi. Councillor Stevenson.
It's been moved, Chairman. I'm very thankful for the opposition leaders' endorsement, and we will, as we've already had several meetings, be carrying on the constitutional amendments working party into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Stevenson, seconded by Councillor Guglielmi. All agreed? Thank you. Item 20, questions pursuant to Council Procedure Rule 11.2. There are none at this stage. Item 21, sitting plan for meetings of full council in 23-24 municipal year 101 to 102. Mr. Davison. Been advised this item will be deferred to the next meeting in March. Mr. Davison.
Thank you, Chairman. Just in accordance with item 18, the deferral there, also this will be item will deferred, and we'll bring both back to the March. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 22, I've been made aware there's no urgent matters for debate. So our next scheduled meeting will be Tuesday, 13th of February for the budget meeting at 7:30. I therefore formally close the meeting at 19:55, and thank you for your attendance and safe journey home.
Please be upstanding.